Welcome to the Cardano channel. This is video number 2. If you've not already looked at video number 1, please take a look. There's a disclaimer in it. So anyway, this video is about the structure surrounding Cardano. There are 3 entities that make up Cardano: Emergo, IOHK, and the Cardano Foundation. Emergo is owned by Kenji Sasaki, a Japanese crypto and tech billionaire. It's a fund that incubates and accelerates promising crypto projects and leads them through the ICO process. Cardano, founded by Charles Hoskinson, is the platform for the projects in that fund. The Cardano Foundation, chaired by Michael Parsons, who spent 25 years in the banking industry, was basically set up as a crypto standards advisory and for marketing and community development. It's something like the Ethereum Foundation. Input Output Hong Kong is a development company founded by Charles Hoskinson. They currently do work on a bunch of blockchain projects. The higher profile ones are Ethereum Classic, Dataless Wallet, and they are also developing Cardano. But there are other projects they're also involved in, which I'll post a link to IOHK's web page, and you can just take a look at those yourself. It's also important to note that Charles Hoskinson, who I mentioned founded IOHK and Cardano, also was a co-founder of Ethereum with Vitalik. I think Charles followed the classic chain at the fort. Anyway, let's take a look at a video that discusses the relationship between Ethereum and Cardano.
Ethereum Classic, because of the economics, the culture, and the ecosystem, looks a lot like a better Bitcoin. It's basically... It's got supply mechanics like Bitcoin. It's got proof of work. It's going to stay on proof of work forever. So if you're cut from that cloth and you like that cloth, it's like a better type of commodity in a simple respect. Like, silver does more than gold, and they're both commodities, and, people look at them along those lines. Whereas Cardano is like the whole banana. It's got a governance system. It's a POS versus proof of work. It's going to have multi-party computation. It's got side chains built in. It's going to have lots of computing stacks. So really, what Cardano is about is doing more than just being a store of value that has some utility attached to it. It's about saying, let's say I go to Ethiopia and I want to rip out the entire financial stack of the country and replace it with a cryptocurrency framework. What would that look like? So it requires you to answer a lot of questions, like what's the relationship between permission ledgers and permissionless ledgers? How do you actually have voting built in so you can make changes to it? You're not necessarily going to be immutable in every single case. You're not necessarily going to be private in every single case and these types of things. And there's some sort of system to reconcile all of that. So it's a much broader scope, and therefore it requires a kind of a different technology and a different philosophy.